So welcome to Oddie Campbell Park in Dublin for this round 15 clash of Division 1B between Old Belvedere, the hosts, and Shannon, the visitors. It's a very crucial game. There's only 4 rounds left in Division 1B, a total of 20 points up for grabs. If we look at where Shannon are ranked on Division 1B, they are in 4th place. They are a point or 3 points behind Nace and a point above St. Mary's. So you get the feeling that finishing in the top 4 is in their own hands, but they need to get a victory here to start feeling a little bit comfortable about finishing in the top 4. With Old Belvedere, they are ranked 7th and they are 9 points ahead of the relegation zone. There's 20 points up for grabs, so they could actually find themselves in the relegation if they don't get 1 or 2 wins in the next 4 games. With me in the commentary box today is Kieran Noble. Kieran, good to have you here.
It's good to be back, and as you said, it's a massive game for both teams. Shannon pushing for that playoff place, they want to secure it, and Old Belvedere want to secure their 1B status for next year, so both teams really need to win.
Just in terms of the last 4 games between these sides, Old Belvedere have won 1 of them, Shannon have won 3, and Shannon are being led out onto the park by their skipper, Lee Nicholas, who has scored 6 tries this season. And the outside centre, Killian Deneen, has also scored 6 tries. Also, a few players have played for Munster in the form of Jake Flannery, as well as Ethan Coughlin, who is also part of the Irish under-20 side. So they've got a stacked team, Kieran, and they've won 7 out of 13 games this season. They haven't played a full 14 because one of their games got called off away from home against Navan, but pretty remarkable that they're in the top 4 with losing out on a few points there.
And also, I saw some of their early games in the season and they just lost. Like the first game of the season, they lost to Old Wesley by a last play try by Owen Deegan on a hard line, and they probably could have won that game, should have won that game. So to be in the position they're in is great, but they're a really exciting backline. The 2 Flannerys, Alan and Jake, and you know they've got some really good forwards, Kelvin Brown and Lee Nicholas, as you said. So they've got the full package really, and I think they could be a team that could be coming good at the right time in the season.
Referee today is Eddie Hogan O'Connell, and Old Belvedere, they're coming off a loss against Highfield away from home at 22 points to 20, had the opportunity to win the game. And Shannon, they had a game against St. Mary's away from home, came away with the win. They were 18 points to 3 down at one stage. And we almost set to go at Oddie Campbell Park.
One thing's for sure, St. Mary's don't like these 2 teams after the last couple of weeks.
So Jake Flannery sending it downtown to Colm Hogan. And he can really be dangerous. He's had a good season, the fullback for Old Belvedere. And McKee to McDonald. He's also been instrumental. And Wilkinson sends it to the skies, and it's a tester, and it's play on, picked up by Maher to McGarry, the fullback. He's found some grass, and that might go too far. Colm Hogan always really aware and has something up his sleeve. Was that the correct option? Here's Big Coffee now. 8 line-out takes last week and 2 poachers as well at line-out time. Flannery to Ring.
That was a dangerous tactic there by Hogan. That could have paid off for Shannon, but Old Belvedere have a penalty now and they'll be able to get some good field position.
Old Belvedere, well, their set piece was really good against Highfield last week. Nine out of 12 lineouts on their own ball, and at scrum time they won 8 out of 8 on their own ball, and also managed to win 4 penalties off their own scrum against Highfield.
Well, it's funny, when Old Belvedere set pieces firing, they're usually firing as a team. Everything seems to go right, so it's paramount for them that they get the set piece going early.
McDonald taps it back for McKee. And Old Belvedere, in that away loss against Shannon earlier in the season, their lineouts were a nightmare. Bird for Wilkinson and McWay. The big blindside flanker. Bird, Wilkinson, Justin Leonard. So many points this season for the inside centre. And Alan Flannery with the hoof. Jack Keating. And he has a go. He's got tons of pace, Keating. Right winger. Bird for Callum Darling. Scored a very important try against St. Mary's 2 weeks ago. Wilkinson for Justin Leonard, Colm Hogan. And here's Butler for Robles. And he's tackled by Josh Costello, the right winger for Shannon. Bird with the educated boots. And the pressure is on. Jake Flannery. He's got so much skill, and he absolutely tore Old Belvedere apart in that home victory against Old Belvedere at the beginning of the season with 2 tries. 22 points that day for Jake Flannery. It's a tester for Hogan, but he's so reliable at the back. And Robles has to play at scrum off, and here's Conor Wendy, the inspirational leader. Bird, and it's a loose pass. Lost a lot of meters. It's picked up by Keating. And good defense from Shannon.
Shannon are really well set up in defence. They've got that high defensive line. So the thing for Old Belvedere is trying to exploit the space in behind. Maybe a few kicks. You see they tried it there in the last play, getting in behind the defence because they were so high up. Both teams are very well defensively set up so far. So it'll be interesting to see what opportunities they can make. And both very good backlines. That Old Belvedere back 3 are devastating when they get going, and Shannon have some real class acts in their backline, like I said at the start of the game. So it'll be really interesting to see what they can do.
And we just hope Oren Ring is okay. A big number 6 in that yellow scrum cap. And St. Mary's, well, their lineouts this year have been superb. In that away victory against St. Mary's last week, 14 out of 15. And it's going to be an arm wrestle today. Both sides have got a lot of pride in the way they orchestrate their set piece. Jordan Prendeville with the feed, and Paddy Darling, the Sandman, with the steal for McKee. Here's Callum Darling. Bird for Wilkinson and Butler. And Old Belvedere, their backline, getting a few early touches. Bird for John McKee. 5 tries this season so far. Bird for Bollard. That was quick hands, but it's gone forward. Prendeville. Ring. Really good play. It's Connor Glynn that time. Here's Coffee. And Brown, the big number 7. Here, really good hands for Flannery. And Alan Flannery with a pass to Deneen, who has scored 6 tries this season. A lot of space to work with.
Really nice play from Shannon there. You see they use the forwards to soak up the big carries and bring in the defenders, and then they put it out to the backs. And that's something we're seeing from both teams early on. They're confident to go through their forwards and then put it out to their backs when the time arises. So they're both very confident so far, and they both want to play with the ball, which is always nice to see.
So in the last 10 games between these sides at AIL level, since the 2010-2011 season, they've played each other 10 times. Belvedere have won 5, Shannon have won 4, and there's been 1 draw.
We talked about that tug of war at the line out. This one will be massive. If old Belvedere can steal it, it would be a big victory at this point in the game.
So Prendeville to throw. Up goes Maher. It's a good take by the big number 5. And here comes that devastating rolling maul. And they've got the try as well, Shannon. Superb work like they've done all season. And coming up with it is the big number 7, Colvin Brown.
A beautifully well-drilled set piece there. And it's funny, old Belvedere have done that to so many teams this season. You've seen John McKee on the end of so many maul tries, but now it's happened to them. And really, that was really just easy, well set. They just did their job. Easy peasy, 5 points on the board, and they'll be hoping for the full 7 now. But Shannon looked very well drilled, in fairness to them.
So coached by Pat O'Connor. It's his first AIL season with Shannon. And a former Shannon player himself, winning the AIL. And Flannery. And he makes no mistake. So Jake Flannery has scored 53 points this season so far.
Brilliant player Jake Flannery is. He's having a real tussle with Jack Crowley, Ben Healy for that Munster 10 jersey, and Joey Carberry obviously as well. You know, they've got so many good 10s in Munster. It's probably hard for the likes of Jake and Jack to get much game time, but they do really well for their AIL clubs when they come back as well. And it's great for the clubs to be able to bring those guys back into the fray.
Flannery. It's a really good kick by the out half.
Yeah, nice touch finder there. Puts the pressure back on old Belvedere. They have the ball. Let's see what they can do. And probably the ideal start that Shannon would have wanted away from home. An early score, get them settled. But I don't think old Belvedere have done so bad, you know, in the first kind of few minutes of this game.
So, Eddie Hogan O'Connell says it will be a scrum.
The scrum will be another interesting aspect of the game, you know, how it's going to go. Luke Rigney's there. He was with Newbridge in the Senior Cup, I think 4 or 5 years ago. Very good player. I think he captained Newbridge actually when he was in 6th year. Very strong lad, so it'll be interesting to see how he does.
He actually played Luke Rigney for Rossgrey and Newbridge.
Rossgrey in the Junior Cup, I think, and then Newbridge in the Senior Cup.
So here, he's been caught up for Munster cover at scrum off. This is a big shove from the Shannon pack, looking to impose themselves on old Belvedere, and they get a penalty.
That's a massive win for Shannon there. Gives them the confidence. You can see the reaction from the players. They love it. Wins like that so early in the game can really give you good momentum and kind of make you feel like you have the edge. Shannon have had a really good last 3 or 4 minutes in the game. It's been all them. Old Belvedere will be disappointed, but really good by Shannon, and they've been really clinical, you know, anytime they've got a chance to impose themselves on the game.
And they're not messing around here, Shannon, turning down the shot at goal.
Well, I think when their forwards they have an edge like so far, and I think they should be going for the set piece, the line out the scrum when they clearly have a bit of an advantage, and keep going with that for as long as they can. And they also have the backs, you know, when if they do a good set piece, they can spin it out to the backs. Deneen is class. Flannery is class. The two Flannerys. So it'll be interesting to see what they do here.
Prendeville, Maher with the take this time for Brown. And Prendeville is at the back of that line out. And they're gaining meters. Here to O'Donnell, the left winger. And here's Brown, the try scorer, tackled by Connor O'Wendy. Here and Big Rig, Luke Rigney with the carry. Here for Connor Glynn. And that's a big let off for old Belvedere.
Brown is doing very well at the minute. He's really imposing himself in the game. Anytime he gets the ball, he makes meters. He looks very good. I actually think he's first cousins with Love Island's finest Greg O'Shea. I think they're first cousins actually. So I wonder if Greg's out there. But yeah, he seems like a really good player. And Shannon just look to be really comfortable, to be honest. They just go about their business, do their jobs, and they seem to be the better side at the moment. I actually think though, for Shannon, if they can win this, they can really kick on and secure that top 4 spot. But I think this late in the season for old Belvedere, if they were to win, it could be season defining almost.
So Connell Bird to feed. Old Belvedere need a solid scrum here. And it's more than that. They get a penalty and a big pressure reliever.
Exactly what the doctor ordered. You know, they've been really under the pump for the last kind of 5 minutes or so, and now that'll give them a bit of relief, and they'll be able to clear their lines and hopefully get it to the line out and secure the ball again.
David Wilkinson. That's a really good kick by the yard half up towards the 10-metre line.
That was from a tough angle, to be fair, and he managed to make sure he got touched, so that was really important and exactly what old Belvedere need. But I think these lineouts are going to be fascinating all day. Like, both teams are going to go for the ball, and they're both going to go for the steal when it's on, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here.
Maher taps it back for Hare. And that's good defence by McWay from old Belvedere. And Ronan Coffey, outstanding last week against St. Mary's. Yes, Brown. Aaron Hare to Flannery, to Alan Flannery this time. The younger brother of Jake Flannery. And what a carry that was by David Maher. Hare back to Jake Flannery. And the tester for Ariel Robles, looking very comfortable, and he beats one, and he's almost tackled by Killian Deneen. Bird for Pollard to the bulldozer. Ryan McMahon to Jack Keating. This is marvellous rugby. Really good line break. Bird for McDonald. David Wilkinson. Justin Lennon to Connor Wendy in the outside channels. Big Paddy Darling. So some positive play from old Belvedere. Bird for William McDonald. Tackled by the two flankers in Brown and Ring. Bird, Wilkinson. John McKee. So Shannon have settled their defensive lines. It's a good recovery, but old Belvedere have the advantage. Bird for Colin Hogan. This is where he's dangerous. And it was a beautiful offload, but they had the free play. Some encouraging signs from old Belvedere.
No, probably old Belvedere's best passage of play so far. But actually the move started with Ariel Robles. He didn't want to go to ground, and I think that gave them a bit of momentum to get going. And then McMahon is just unreal. Like, anytime he gets the ball, he always makes meters, and he's always moving. And yeah, Colin Hogan looks very good today as well. Anytime he's got the ball, you know, he's looking for the space, he's looking to get going. So yeah, really positive from old Belvedere there. They'll be looking to get some points on the board now. And yeah, as I said, the best passage of play so far for them.
So Justin Leonard will have a shot at goal. 106 points this season, including a try against Highfield away from home last week. And this old Belvedere, well, they're 9, 10 and 12, all very young. And Connell Bird, David Wilkinson and Justin Leonard. So a great future. Also for Shannon with Aaron Hare, Jake Flannery and Alan Flannery. And they've still got so many years of rugby ahead of them, which is very encouraging.
These are the early days for them, really. Just enjoy it, you know, being in your club. And especially now, like in these post-COVID kind of, with the fans back, you know, it's good times for them. They'll make good memories with their friends, especially the Flannery's brothers alongside each other. So
Justin Leonard. And he's just missed that one. It was a decent strike.
Not what he would have wanted, but these things happen and he just has to go again now. It's funny though, I think Shannon, they'll let Jake Flannery control the game. He'll kind of orchestrate a lot of things, I think. You know, he'll set up plays, kick to the corner when he needs to, and he'll be paramount for them. You can see already he's going to have a massive influence on the game.
So Jake Flannery with David Wilkinson to Colm Hogan with the up and under. It's really well taken by Aaron Hare. Deneen has to play at scrum off for Maher, the lock forward. And utilising the caterpillar ruck, Aaron Hare. And that's a good play by the scrum off. And a good take by David Wilkinson. Connell Bird has to dig. Paddy Darling into Sandman. Look at him go. Beautiful line break. Jack Keating. He's had some good touches today, as well as that man, Pollard, the loose head prop. Bird for Wilkinson. And the bulldozer once more. Ryan McMahon really spreading the ball here. Wilkinson for Justin Leonard, Colm Hogan, Ariel Robles. He's got tons of pace, but we'll come back for the forward pass.
I talked about Shannon's high defensive line, but all Belvedere are exploiting that space when they get a chance. And some of the hard lines that are coming from the likes of Dowling, McMahon, you know, they're really causing problems for Shannon. And every time they do it, they kind of catch them on the hop. And then they're able to spin it out wide to their devastating back three, Ariel Robles. Ariel Robles looks really good today too. It looks like it could be a really exciting game here. You know, both teams want to play with the ball, and they obviously have a bit of emphasis on their kicking game as well. We've seen the ball go to air a couple of times, so that's obviously something both teams have kind of worked on. But anytime they get the ball, they look dangerous. So even though they have no points on the board yet, I think there is some positives for Old Belvedere so far in the way they're playing the game.
Just in terms of other fixtures that are happening at this moment in time, we've got Nace playing Old Wesley just down the road at Energia Park, and also St Mary's against City of Amar away from home. Nace being in third position, Shannon being in fourth, and St Mary's being in fifth. So important, all those teams in a row, all playing away, and they'll be knowing that they need a victory away from home just to feel comfortable.
I actually think Nace have probably been the story of 1B so far. I don't think many people would have expected them at the start of the season when they lost to Old Belvedere. They wouldn't have expected Nace to be where they are now. So big credit to them. And Mary's have had a tough few weeks losing to both these sides, and they'll be hoping to bounce back and get a win. But it'll be a tough ask for them in the city of Armagh.
Aaron Hare, Jake Flannery with a skip ball to Deneen, and yes, McGarry the fullback. There's an overlap here. He takes contact. He had Jack O'Donnell on his outside. And Old Belvedere get a much-needed penalty. It was looking ominous.
Yeah, but he did brilliant there to get over the ball and just kind of steal it, because Shannon showed what they can do out wide there too. And that is what's going to make this game very good to watch. I think both teams are confident, you know, they're going to go for it. But Old Belvedere have had a better last kind of 5 minutes or so. They've kind of got back into the game a little bit. They've asked questions of Shannon, and maybe the last pass or things like that haven't went to plan, but Yeah, I think both teams are actually pretty evenly matched, despite the 7-0 scoreline. You know, I think they're pretty evenly matched so far. And yeah, it's actually really good to watch.
So Dean Moore also on the park. Doesn't manage to gather that line out. And that's a big blow for Old Belvedere. Big opportunity missed. And Flannery, anything could happen here. Paddy Darling. And it's gone forward. And Ring, the blindside flanker. Aaron Hare. And Colvin Brown hitting the line. Alan Flannery going for the 50-22. And Colin Hogan is well positioned. And tries to beat the tackle of O'Donnell. And yes, Jack Keating. He's got a few meters today. And this time he gives away a penalty.
Yeah, exactly what Jack Keaton did a few minutes ago. He gives away a penalty this time. But yeah, you can see both Flannerys are confident, kicking the ball, but there was a lot of pressure on Jake, and Old Belvedere were probably unlucky not to get the possession. The knock-on meant that Shannon got it back, but yeah, that was a strange passage of play, I'd say, and now Shannon are in a really good position, and it's pretty similar to where they got the try earlier on in the game, so it'll be interesting to see if they go for the same tactic and what Old Belvedere can do to stop it.
Jordan Prendeville back in their home fixture against Old Belvedere in the win. He was player of the match. And they also got Declan Moore, the Australian, on the bench to come on as well. And up goes Maher. And Big Rig has to recover it. And Shannon lucky to get the scrum.
Very lucky, good pressure from Old Belvedere there, exactly what they needed to do. Shannon get out of it relatively okay, they still have the ball, a scrum in a dangerous position. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens now. I think Shannon might go out to their backs and we might see something exciting happen. Old Belvedere will be hoping their defence can stand strong and keep them out.
So this will be a good platform now for Shannon. Old Belvedere are going to have to be on their guard. And it's a tight head by Old Belvedere. That's incredible work by the forward pack.
That's massive, that could be a momentum shifter really, considering where Shannon were. First of all, Old Belvedere managed to disrupt the line out, and then they got in and they won the penalty at the scrum. So some really good set pieces for Old Belvedere there, and now they've got a couple of meters. Obviously Shannon were giving out and giving the ref some stick, and he decided to give Old Belvedere a bit more of an advantage. But really, really positive play from Old Belvedere there, exactly what they needed to do. Because Shannon have a strong set piece, so by Old Belvedere winning, disrupting that line out and win the penalty at the scrum, maybe they're just seeding a bit of doubt in their heads.
John McKee to Will MacDonald. Bird. It's messy ball for the scrum off. Old Belvedere losing some momentum. A pop ball from MacDonald to Ryan McMahon with support from Conor Wendy. Bird for Will MacDonald. And a high tackle.
Easy penalty for Old Belvedere there, really. I think the tackler was just probably a bit unlucky. He kind of just slipped up at the wrong moment. But yeah, Old Belvedere can get easy access now into the Shannon half. And from where they were a couple of minutes ago, it's a terrific outcome for them.
So about 25 minutes gone. Shannon 7, Old Belvedere 0. Just that Rothingmore try from Colvin Brown converted by Jake Flannery.
It's been very back and forth so far, Justin. Both teams are going at it, and you can't really say neither team has really dominated the game. I think they've both had their chances. maybe they lack a bit in execution so far, but that could just be, start of the game. It takes time sometimes to get things going, but I think it's a very competitive game. You can see that from the set piece. So yeah, it's really good to watch.
Darling with the take. Been so reliable, the number 8 this season. And this is exceptional work from old Belvedere. Paddy Darling peeling away, looking for an opening. Can old Belvedere strike? James Bollard. And the pick and go from John McKee. About 10 metres out. And they've got the penalty as well.
Well, we talked about Shannon's maul try earlier on in the game, and old Belvedere showing what they can do when they get their maul rolling there. But I think Dowling has been exceptional today so far. He's done some really good things. Anytime he's got the ball, he's looked very dangerous and he's making meters. And now, look where they are. Could we see a John McKee special, as I call it? They just need to make sure they secure the ball. That's the most important thing, and then go from there.
So old Belvedere have scored 10 tries from both their hookers. John McKee with 5, and Joe Horan has also scored 5 tries, who's on the bench. Dean Moore and the Wiseman, the experienced player with the take. Old Belvedere searching, and that's gone to ground. And Shannon, that's a big moment for them, dismantling that rolling Moore. Dean Moore is not happy.
Shannon were very well set there, and they were ready for it, and it's probably something they studied before the game, in training during the week. They know it's a real strength of old Belvedere's game, and we're getting a bit of a argy-bargy here. It's just a bit of handbags. Sometimes it's good to see, get the energy out there.
And Eddie Hogan O'Connell, the referee, is not interested at all. So much experience. Munster Referee of the Year in 2013, so he'll know how to handle this situation. He's a teacher by trade as well, and he's pulling a Shannon player in.
Yeah, we talked about old Belvedere's defensive set in the last couple of plays, but Shannon did really well there. It could have been a try for old Belvedere, but Shannon committed on the ground, and they managed to disrupt the ball, and exactly what they needed to do.
So the two captains, Lee Nicholas and Conor Wendy, having a discussion with Eddie Hogan O'Connell.
Two captains that have been massive for their club this season, from what I've seen. Conor Wendy, every week he gives it 100%, and Lee Nicholas, brilliant player as well. And obviously the ref has sided with old Belvedere there in that argument, and he's given them the penalty. So it'll be interesting to see what they do here.
John McKee,
he's going,
has a shot at the line, just short. Dean Moore pops it to Ryan McMahon. And Paddy Darling. Old Belvedere so close now. And they've got a free play as well. Bird for Wilkinson. Justin Leonard cutting back on the inside. Gets the offload away to Ariel Robles. And Pollard this time, the loose head prop, tackled by Maher. Ryan McMahon. Pollard. Just have to maintain their composure. McDonald. Bird. Wilkinson. And it's a loose ball. Intercepted. But we will come back for the penalty. And Shannon just need to watch their discipline.
Yeah, you don't want any yellow cards in this area of the pitch. But to be fair, old Belvedere could do everything except get the ball over the line. So, Shannon did well in that respect. I actually think, to be honest, with the way how even the game has been, I was thinking if someone's gone to the bin by the looks of things.
It's Alan Flannery.
big loss for Shannon. He's a big part of the way their backline play. He's a big part of their backline play, and a player they wouldn't like to lose. And with the way the clock's going, that's probably him out for the rest of the half.
And Conor Wendy, the skipper for Old Belvedere, wants a shot at goal for Justin Leonard.
Probably the smart choice there, really. When you visit the red zone, you need to be coming out with points. And I don't think they could really afford, if they went to the corner there, went to the scrum, or, if they didn't come out with a try, they would have felt like it was wasted, their last kind of 6 or 7 minutes. So 3 points is better than nothing, I suppose.
And there must be a big inner battle going on between Justin Leonard and Alan Flannery. And he just knocks that over, Justin Leonard. So it is Old Belvedere 3, Shannon 7, with about 31 minutes gone here at Ollie Campbell Park. It's a 4-point ball game.
Very even game, as I've said before, Two very well-matched sides so far, They've both done good things in defence and in attack. They've both had their opportunities. But I don't think neither team will be that worried, It'll be interesting to see what they do differently in the second half. But now Shannon have to manage only having 14 men on the pitch.
So Jake Flannery, Paddy Darling, smashed by Oren Ring. Callum Darling. John McKee with the pick and go. Connell Bird, David Wilkinson. And it's taken by Jamie McGarry, the fullback. A little dink over the top from the 15.
Jamie McGarry and Colin Hogan seem to be very similar style players in the way they like to play. I wouldn't be kicking it back to them. I wouldn't be inviting them, to take opportunities. Yeah, very similar players, but we've seen that a bit today, both teams going to the boot when they've needed to. And yeah, it's interesting.
So about 7 minutes to go before half time.
It's a beautiful day for rugby today as well.
It's a glorious day. And also for Old Belvedere now with 7 minutes to go with a player up. They can't just relax. They need to try take advantage of having an extra man on the park. Paddy Darling at the back. But Bird gives it to Wilkinson. Justin Leonard with the skip ball to Ariel Robles. And yes, Colin Hogan, the fullback. Hogan still going. And that's good scramble defence by Shannon.
If I was a betting man, I'd have money on Ariel Robles or Colin Hogan to get a try today, because they both look, anytime they get the ball, they look exciting, and they look confident. So, it just maybe at the last moment it hasn't went right for them, but I think we could see a try from one of them come the end of the game.
So Old Belvedere, about 10 minutes or so ago, losing Fionn McWay, and that is why Dean Moore is on the park. William MacDonald with a pop to Connell Bird, Wilkinson and Callum Darling getting involved. Connell Bird, Colin Hogan. Hogan looking so devastating with the offload to John McKee. Terrific support by the hooker, Colin Hogan. It's still alive. Old Belvedere give away a penalty, and that's got to be really frustrating for Coach Ray Monaghan.
Really frustrating, to be honest. I thought Old Belvedere were seconds away from being in there, to be honest, and getting their first try of the game. Colin Hogan, though, like I said just 30 seconds ago, he's looking really just dangerous today, and he looks like he just wants to play and enjoy himself.
So Jake Flannery, one of the stars in that Ireland under-20 side back in 2019. with 10 caps that year and also won the Grand Slam. Really talented player. And it must be absolutely amazing for him to play for Shannon with his younger brother, Alan Flannery, who is in the bin at the moment.
I'd say it's amazing for their parents as well to be able to see the two boys playing together.
Ronan Coffey with the take. And that's a careless penalty. And old Belvedere will have a second shot now. And there could be big trouble here. You don't want to be doing this with a teacher, Eddie Hogan O'Connell.
He's well used to disciplining his students, I'd say. So, but old Belvedere, looking back, they've probably been the better team, you know, in the last 10-15 minutes. But they need points on the board, you know. Going in 7-3 down at half time, you know, they'd be a bit disappointed considering how good they've been. So I think before the half-time whistle, they need to get more points on the board.
And good to see Connor Glynn getting up for Shannon, the big loose-head prop. And he had an absolute field day, the loose-head prop against Navan, coming off the bench and scoring a party try as well with a big dummy. So Wilkinson and old Belvedere, well, you get the feeling they want the lead before half-time and they want to take advantage of being a player up.
This is a massive moment in the entire game, to be honest. If old Belvedere can score this and get a try, it's a massive win for them. If Shannon can keep them out somehow, they'll be delighted going into the half-time break.
Dean Moore. And losing a bit of momentum, but old Belvedere are now set. John McKee bursting away. That's a big don't argue to Jordan Prendeville, his opposite number, and David Maher coming away with the ball. Shannon with the rescue operations, they are doing really well and backing their defence and waiting for Belvedere to make a mistake, picking their moments well.
Yeah, they've obviously watched some videos, I'd say, you know, and kind of looked at the way old Belvedere like to play, and they know that old Belvedere like that maul, and they've really targeted it, you know. Anytime it's got to the back to John McKee, they just go for him and make sure they disrupt it any way they can. So yeah, Shannon have obviously been working on that in the training ground, and it's paid off so far, you know. Old Belvedere haven't been able to really get it motoring close to the try line like they usually would. So a big win for Shannon there, and exactly what they needed. And with 14 men on the pitch, they'll be delighted with how, you know, this time has gone while Alan Flannery's been in the sin bin, you know.
The shove from old Belvedere, and Shannon get the penalty, and that's a big moment as well for Shannon now.
Yeah,
getting the edge at scrum time, because that is where old Belvedere really back themselves in their scrums. They've had such good statistics this season, old Belvedere, so a few penalties like that at scrum time can really do a side wonders.
Yeah, I'm not a scrum specialist, but that looked even enough, so I'd like to see it again if there was a replay. But yeah, look, Shannon have got out of danger there, and you know, good game management. They'll probably go into half time now 7-3 up, and they'll be delighted, as I said. And for old Belvedere, they'll be extremely frustrated, and Ray Monaghan will be extremely frustrated about how the last 10 minutes have gone, considering where they've been on the park.
Connor Glynn and Jordan Prendeville, they're the number 1 and number 2. Both scored 3 tries this season. Their tight head prop, Big Rig, Luke Rigney, still waiting to get on the board. Nicholas with the take. Colvin Brown doing some dog work around the fringes, gaining a few extra meters. Luke Rigney, the tight head prop. Good defense by John McKee.
John McKee said, "You're not doing that on my blade of grass." He showed him who's boss there. And now Old Belvedere have the ball back again, and they can go to the corner again, but they have to turn it into points. They just have to at this point of the match.
Exceptional kick by David Wilkinson, the Old Belvedere under 20.
It'll be interesting now to see, do Old Belvedere just keep going with them all, or do they try something different now, because it hasn't really went to plan so far in this area of the pitch. It'll be interesting to see if they let it out or they'll just stick to what they know.
And this time it's MacDonald. And here come Old Belvedere, looking to get their tank engine going. They want the lead before half time. Connell Bird and David Butler with a massive handoff on Jordan Prendeville. McKee with the pop pass to McMahon, and Owendi lays it back. And David Butler. John McKee looking for his 6th try of the season. Jack Keating has to work hard for McMahon. Connor Owendi looking for his 1st try of the season. John McKee. So many pick and goes from Old Belvedere. Bird for William MacDonald. This is really good defense from Shannon. McMahon. There are a few cheers. Bird for Paddy Darling. James Pollard. And that was really smart play from the Lucette prop. Terrific score. And his 1st try of the season.
Exactly what Old Belvedere needed. And to be fair, they were persistent there. They just kept knocking on the door, And to be fair, Shannon met them with some hard defence pretty much the whole way through. But eventually Bollard got over and he got the try that they needed. And now they'll be going into the half-time break with a deserved advantage, I'd say, to be honest.
Really crucial for Old Belvedere. They had plenty of opportunities to score. And Justin Leonard adds the extras. So it's Old Belvedere 10, Shannon 7. Really competitive first half. It started off with that rolling maul from Shannon. They had a really good opening 10 to 15 minutes. Had the line out opportunity. It really looked beautiful, that rolling maul. Got the ball down. Old Belvedere, they kept going. There was the yellow card. Kick to the corner a few times. Shannon repelled them and eventually right on the halftime hooter managing to take the lead.
But you know what? We've watched Old Belvedere together a lot this season, and I actually think that last 25 minutes of play is probably one of their best of the season. I think they were really impressive, really persistent, the way they just kept going for it and going for it. Because other times in the season we've seen them maybe when, you know, they try and it doesn't work out, and maybe the heads drop a little and they let teams build up a bit of steam and get ahead of them. But I was really impressed with them in the last 25 minutes. But Shannon are a very good side, especially defensively.
So don't go anywhere. There's a big 40 minutes coming up next. A crucial 40 minutes for both these sides.
Oh, that's what they're doing.
Did he get that kick? Because 2 kicks have looked like he's completely missed.
Yeah, and Alan Flannery's back on the pitch.
Oh, he is back on
the pitch. And that last play he was
I saw, yeah, you're actually right.
I was listening to your stream on Friday, and my nanny listened to it, and I was listening. I was listening to it, and I was like, this guy's actually pretty good. Your man that was doing it, I was like, you could do me out of a job. And I went home to my nanny and I was like, he was pretty good. I'd even say he was better than me. And she was like, no, he wasn't. And I was like, it's alright, like.
No, the match is not over. There's still a second half.
Yeah. Yeah, the best 25 minutes I've. Yeah. That's the best last 25 minutes I've seen from them, pretty much. Yeah. I think the Belvedere backline is really good today as well. Anytime McKeown's getting the ball, he's. Or not, Hogan. I always get them mixed up.
Who do you get mixed up?
Hogan and McKeown for some reason. I always get them mixed up. Because it's Keaton, McKeown, and then Hogan.
You know what I hated is when both players have the surname and they play right next to each other. I just want to check my sound.
Yeah, it's back to there.
Let's see the try. Yeah, smart play. What did you say, bro? It was smart. I was like surprised. I was like, wow, he found a massive. Was he man in the match last week? Yeah, this sounds good. And Declan, I must congratulate him because he zoomed in and he waited for the Shannon guy to come up with the ball.
That's good.
Those Oaks who commented on my tweet, the Shannon guys, they're just joking. They say, put him on commentary, one of the guys.
What'd they say? I didn't see.
Big second half to come. Old Belvedere 10, Shannon 7. Eddie Hogan O'Connell, the referee, being really composed today. And he's ready, centre player to the bin as well. Flannery with a contestable, and there's a big shot. Ronan Coffey, the big lock forward, has gone to ground, and this will be really concerning for Shannon. We really hope he's okay.
Not a great start to the second half for Shannon. You don't like to see that ever. Hopefully he can get back up on his feet.
Yeah, that's very concerning. He's one of their leaders as well. And so brilliant against St. Mary's in that victory away from home. With 8 line-out takes and 2 line-out steals. He's come through the Shannon underage systems and ex-Munster schools as well. So Old Belvedere and it looks like Blackrock are playing on the other pitch. And there's a penalty given to Blackrock. Kieran, how do you fancy commentating on another game that you didn't pitch up for?
Do you have notes on this game, Justin?
There were 25 hours in a day instead of 24, Kieran, maybe I would have the notes.
Yeah. You're a man of many talents.
I do have notes on Blackrock's first side.
They had a good win over Greystones last week.
Yeah, massive win because Greystones, they are top of the table and they've lost 2 on the bounce. So we just hope that Ronan Coffee is okay. And it just looks really concerning right at the start of the second half.
Kind of takes the zip out of the game because both teams probably when they come out in the second half they just want to get going, implement whatever they've been talking about at the halftime break. So it's really unfortunate. But the main thing is that the player gets back up on his feet and that he's okay.
And also just down the road, a bit of an update in terms of Old Wesley's game. You're top of the table in Division 1B. They are winning 22 points to 7 against Naas, so they're looking really comfortable. And Old Wesley, Kieran, they're just really steaming ahead, and you get the feeling that with the 4G pitch being at home, it looks like they're definitely going to get a home semi-final, and if they win that, they've got the home final, but they're going to be incredibly difficult to beat at Energia Park. And if Shannon do make the top 4, they came really close at beating them in round 1, and it was that Owen Deegan try in the last minute of play that led to the Old Wesley victory.
Look, no disrespect to the other teams that are in the mix, but I think really this year it's Old Wesley's to lose. I think they should really win the 1B title, and if they don't, as I said, it's theirs to lose. Like, I don't really see even Highfield at this point. I think Old Wesley are just a bit ahead, and they seem like the really good team in 1B, and going up to 1A would be massive for them, massive.
So Ronan Coffey is back on his feet and getting a clap off. It's good to see him back on his feet. He's been a colossus this season, and that's promising. And we hope he recovers quickly.
Do you know what, Justin? I'd love to see Shannon versus Old Wesley last round of the league in a few weeks' time, because that first game that I went to was just like there was a case for either team to win the game, and then Owen Deegan to score in the last play of the game. It was a bit harsh for Shannon, and I really felt for them. So they'll be really looking at that game in a couple of weeks, hoping to get some revenge. We're getting to the real nitty-gritty part of the season though now. These are the really important games for teams to secure their status in certain leagues and then push for the playoff places in some other cases. So across all the leagues, like from 1A to 2C, it's a really interesting time of the season. In 1A you've got Clontarf, who look really, really comfortable at the minute.
So Lee Nicholas, Shannon's longest serving captain, is packing down at lock. Ring is at the back. And great scrum by Old Belvedere. Wilkinson going for the 50-22. He's just missed it, but that is a phenomenal kick by the out half.
Really unlucky there. A couple more yards and it would have been a great 50-22, but a great kick nonetheless. And Old Belvedere again at the scrum. Just that little nudge, that little advantage, And it'll be interesting to see, can they disrupt this line out. The momentum is in Old Belvedere's favour right now. You can sense it, but it'll be interesting to see what Shannon can do. And they're such a good side that they won't let it phase them, and they'll just be waiting for their next opportunity.
Prendeville for Ring, and it's poached by Paddy Darling. And unlucky not to get the turnover.
Paddy Dowling did really well there to get up, but yeah, unlucky as you said. And for Shannon, they have the ball back and they can build from here.
And big Colin Heffernan replaced the injured Ronan Coffey. And Colin Heffernan has played Ireland under-19s. He's also played Irish Sevens and Leinster underage. And he's at the back of that scrum. Aaron Hare with the feed. Really sturdy. Alan Flannery. And here's Brown. He's had a good game. Open side flanker. Ring to Flannery. And here's O'Donnell. And Justin Leonard just shepherding the ball. And here's Colin Hogan. And he's setting off on a journey here. And that's big defence by the captain, Lee Nicholas. And it's been knocked on by Connell Bird. An uncharacteristic error by the scrum half.
Big hit though there from Nicholas, you know. He's obviously pumped up for the second half. Hogan looked like he was away there, but Nicholas met him with a big tackle.
Lee Nicholas, also coach of Crescent College, comprehensive, and they in the Munster Senior Cup final.
It's great to be able to be watching Shannon today, because growing up as a young kid, I would have heard a lot of stories about, you know, the glory days in Shannon, the likes of Axel Foley and all that, and you know, it's a great club, so it's great to have the opportunity to be commentating on one of their games today.
Another solid scrum by Shannon, and a shove as well, and they've got the penalty. Powerful stuff from the forward pack.
Yeah, the last couple of scrums have went the way of old Belvedere, so Shannon would be really happy with that. Now they'll be looking to go to the corner and to get into a good area of the pitch, and they'll be looking to see what they can do from there. But exactly what they needed, and this will give them an opportunity now to get back into the game.
So Shannon, well, they haven't scored points for a while now, but we know 30 minutes is a long time in a game of rugby, and they can really open up an opposition's defence. And it could start now with this line out. Jordan Prendeville to Nicholas, the captain. Here, here's Alan Flannery for Jake Flannery, and then it has been knocked on by Shannon. And that's very frustrating from a Shannon point of view.
Yeah, very frustrating for them. And I was talking before the game, I've been really impressed by their backline play this year so far. And you could see they were trying there to get it out and get it going. So they would be annoyed, you know, that kind of, it just didn't go to plan, and, you know, they lost the ball. But, you know, they just need to kind of grow back into the game now again. And as you said, they haven't scored for the last 35 minutes or so, but it's only 10-7. Like, they're only 3 points down. So it's not a massive thing, you know. So considering, you know, the last 25 minutes, Old Belvedere probably had a large part of the possession. To only be 3 points down, it's not a big deficit, and they're still very much in this game.
Connell Bird with the feed, and this could be a tight head. It is a tight head. Hare setting off the scrum off, and he's found so much room. Aaron Hare, really good work. Brown goes on the short side for Alan Flannery. And here's McGarry, the fullback. An opportunity for Shannon to take the lead. And this is where they can be really clinical. And Heffernan on the charge. It's a pick and go by Nicholas. And Ring that time with the carry. Flannery, McGarry, Killian Deneen, try number 7 for the outside centre. He scores tries for fun. What a score for Shannon, and they've got the lead back the little number 13.
Something I'm massive on, Justin, is efficiency in the red zone. And if you look, their only real proper visit in the red zone in the first half was that maul try, and then they get back in the red zone at the start of the second half and they score. But really good from Shannon, like the way they can, when they get it out to the backs, they look very confident. And but Hare, scrum half, I was watching him, a few videos of him throughout the season, and he loves a little snipe, he loves a little run, and it really gets the team on the front foot. So that try, a lot of it's down to him, the way he just got the motor in it. That gave the backs confidence to just play, and Deneen, a fantastic player, and another try for him this season.
So Jake Flannery, lovely kick by the out half. So it's Shannon 14, Old Belvedere 10.
That obviously gives Shannon a lot of security as well, having somebody like Flannery who is so confident at kicking to the goal, and he'll always you're always confident that he'll score for you. So that's a great thing to have for any AIL club, I think.
Just shows you how crucial set piece was. Turnover at set piece time, and here's big Colin Heffernan, the big number 8 with a stampeding run. Hare, who set up that try with the break off the scrum. Hogan, it's a really good take by the fullback. Connell Bird and Callum Darling, tackled by Brown and Maher, and Shannon coming with the counter ruck, starting to get their tails up. And Old Belvedere starting to feel the heat. Here's Ryan McMahon. Connor Glynn with a powerful hit. Paddy Darling, he's tackled by Ring. Wilkinson, and there's a call for offside. Big Connor Glynn eating up David Wilkinson. And William MacDonald places it back. Big Dean Moore, the veteran. Connell Bird, Justin Leonard. And that ball is not out, taken by Hare. And here's McCarry, the fullback, with a switch pass. An unforced error, but that did look dangerous from Shannon.
You can see Shannon are really kind of upping the ante now, and that's what the best teams can do. They can really turn it on. After the break, the best teams can really turn it on and push on in games. So now this is a real test for Old Belvedere to see where they're at. And for Shannon, they'll be looking to push on now. But yeah, they look very confident, and they look to come out in the second half and really put it on Old Belvedere.
Just look at the size of the tight head prop for Shannon. Luke Rigney. He's been playing with Shannon since he left school. And such a young side, this Shannon side as well.
The last two scrums have went to Shannon, went exactly the way they wanted. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here.
Beautiful shove from Old Belvedere. This is what they can do to you at scrum time. They can hurt you really badly, and they get the penalty. Massive shove from the forward pack.
That scrum probably sums up the game. It's been very back and forth in terms of advantage at the set piece and the line out and the scrum. Each team have had their periods of having a slight advantage, but a really good penalty for Old Belvedere there, and now they can get some much needed territory. It's actually the second half is going very similar to the way the first half was. Shannon came out, got that early try, then they played well for 10 minutes or so, and where they looked the better side, and then Old Belvedere came out the last 25, but Shannon in the second half have come out really well, got that score when they got into the red zone, and now Old Belvedere are trying to get back into it. But yeah, very competitive game.
Good line out. Wilkinson, Justin Leonard with the ball to Callum Darling. Connell Bird and big Ryan McMahon, tackled by David Maher, who gets the turnover in the process as well. Brown and Kieran Ryan. And the penalty for Shannon.
That's something I've realised so far today. Shannon are very good in the collision. They are always looking for the steal and they're always looking to get their hands on the ball. And they're very confident in the tackle. And they demonstrated that there again.
And decent kick. And here's big Declan Moore. The hooker is on the park, the Australian. He's on loan to Ulster from Munster. The Australian.
It's been really back and forth the last couple of minutes, you know. Old Belvedere have had it, Shannon have had it. And neither team have been really able to get any sustained pressure.
Kieran Ryan on the park in number 18. Currently part of the Ireland under-20 setup. And Nicholas with a really good take. And here's Brown. He's had such a good game. Ever present. Hare. He always looks dangerous. Beautiful ball from Flannery. And Brown tackled by Dean Moore. Aaron Hare. Flannery for Alan Flannery. Ryan this time. First touch off the bench. Hare for Jake Flannery for Colvin Brown. Aaron Hare, Jake Flannery. And that's good game management by the out half.
Brilliant decision from him just to kick it down there. And it looks like Shannon are going to have the ball here, have the throw in. So, real win-win for them, if that's the case. But yeah, the best out halves can make... Oh no, Old Belvedere have it. The linesman was obviously a tad confused. But yeah, the best out halves can make those really good decisions at the right time. And there's a reason Jake Flannery has played for Munster. So, really good game management by him, as you said.
And also Ethan Coughlin, who's on the bench as well for Shannon, the scrum half, who's already played for Munster and part of the Irish under-20 side. Actually started in that victory over France a few weeks ago. 3 appearances already at Irish under-20 level. Big future ahead of him.
Yeah, those under-20s have done really well, and that's a credit to Richie Murphy and his coaching staff. You know, that game against France was tough, and to come out with a win in France was, you know, massive for them. And who knows, you know, if COVID hadn't happened, maybe Ireland would have been on for 3 Grand Slams at under-20 level. So
Paddy Darling with a crucial take. McMahon. David Wilkinson with the clearance.
That's exactly what David Wilkinson needed to do there. Just get the ball off the park. Relieve Old Belvedere of a bit of pressure, and Shannon are in the right area of the pitch, so they'll be happy with this, with the 4-point advantage. You know, that things are going to plan for them so far in the second half.
Oren Ring with the take. Hare for Jake Flannery, smashed by John McKee, and yes, Colvin Brown again. What a shift. Hare goes on the short side for Cusack. Hare for Heffernan on the short side. And here's Ryan. Another good carry by the prop forward, Jake Flannery, getting the arms through. Beautiful play. It's big Declan Moore. It's really looking ominous now for Old Belvedere. It's picked up by McGarry. Good work from the fullback. Hare goes on the short side. Shannon looking for try number 3. And it's try time for Shannon. Really good work. It's Kieran Ryan who strikes.
The two Flannerys there, though, orchestrated. Jake there was brilliant. He just kind of waited for the right moment to release the ball and get them going. And yeah, brilliant play by them. And when Shannon have it, like when the backs have it, like I said earlier, they look dangerous every time. They look very well drilled. They seem to know what they're doing all the time. And look, they probably deserve that score with the way the second half has gone so far. And they've really just upped the temperature and really shown why they're in that top 4 race at the minute.
So Jake Flannery to make it 3 out of 3. And that one's gone to the right. So it's Shannon 19, Old Belvedere 10. Shannon have scored 3 tries. And the bonus point really looks possible now for Shannon. And every point is crucial. Every try is crucial. It's not over yet, though. We saw Old Belvedere come back in the last 8 minutes against St. Mary's 2 weeks ago, where they scored 14 unanswered points. And here comes Shannon again. It's another beautiful looking caterpillar ruck, and Hare sends it up for Colin Hogan to David Wilkinson. And yes, Jack Keating had a few breaks in the first half. Little opportunity in the second. Colin Hogan. Bird back for Justin Leonard. And here's McGarry. And he has a crack, the fullback. Silken slippers from the fullback. And O'Donnell getting involved to Deneen. They're looking in a mean and hungry mood, Shannon. Jake Flannery for Declan Moore. And Jake Flannery once more. Straight through the centre, under the sticks. And the Wizard scores for Shannon.
It's ooh la la rugby at the minute. Shannon are really just turning it on, showing what they're made of, putting a statement out there. They'll be hoping that other clubs like Wesley and Highfield are watching this game afterwards and taking note. But Shannon could be one of those clubs that are peaking at the right time in terms of the league. But Jake Flannery again, superb.
We just see a player of that caliber in the last 5 minutes. He's basically just turned the game on its head. That phenomenal offload to set up the Kieran Ryan try, and then Flannery straight through the centre there, and he converts. Exceptional stuff by the out half.
Yeah, but we seen Rob Little play here a couple of months ago for his club, and you can tell these players are playing at a high level. They do make a difference. You can pick them out from a mile away. And Jake Flannery is really just taking control of the game, taking the game by the scruff of the neck in the last kind of 5-10 minutes. And it's massive for Shannon, and they'll be hoping he's available come playoff time if they're there.
Jake Flannery finds touch, and all of a sudden, Kieran, 16 points the difference here. And Old Belvedere, they just need to keep going. They need to at least try to get a bonus point. After this game, there's only 3 games left. They've got a Malone away from home as well, then City of Oman, and then Nace away from home. They're going to have to get points from somewhere.
3 very difficult games for them coming up. I think you were on a podcast during the week and you said there's 20 points available, and Old Belvedere needs to be kind of aiming for 5-10, I'd say.
And Joe Horan, the big try scorer for Old Belvedere this season with 5. He's on the park. Here's Connell Bird with a switchboard at Colin Hogan. Colvin Brown trying to get the steal. And here's Bollard. Shots of offside, but it's play on. Joe Horan with the pick and go. James Bollard playing at scrum off, and Moore with so much experience, losing that ball forward. And Ethan Coughlin is on the field as well now for Shannon in the number 20 jersey. That's very exciting to see.
It's all going the way, Shannon, at the minute. And, from the 4 tries they've probably been their 4 visits into the red zone, which they're so clinical, just making sure they come out with points. And sometimes if you can do that at this level, it's hard to see you going wrong or losing games, And I think Shannon they've really turned it up in the last few weeks. They had that massive win against Navan, and they beat Mary's. So I think, they're on the right track. And as I said a few minutes ago, peaking maybe at the right time.
And just down the road, Old Wesley with 15 minutes to go. They're leading Nace 29 points to 19. It's a bit of a comeback there for Nace. Still in that game. And we'll have a reset.
Old Belvedere Malone is a massive game next week in the context of survival. A massive game.
Also, news was just in a few minutes ago that the Highfield Malone game is currently suspended. And that might have huge ramifications if that game does not continue.
Yeah, Highfield have been a bit of a strange one. The first half of the season, they were like, you couldn't really fault them in a lot of ways. And the second half of the season, maybe it's not really clicked for them the same way.
And that's a big win there for Old Belvedere at scrum time. A replacement front row for Shannon struggling. And they need to score twice here, Old Belvedere. Really do. To come away with something.
Well, I wasn't there the day they beat Mary's, but that was a great comeback win. So they have to kind of look at that and say, look, lads, we can do it. They have to have a bit of self-belief. But Shannon are so good that it's hard to see how they're going to let this lead slip, to be honest.
John McKee. Dean Moore and Declan Moore. So much power. Gets the turnover at line-out time. Brown and Aaron Flannery, with a massive dummy. And Declan Moore is having a field day at the moment. Coughlin for Ryan, the try scorer. Coughlin and Flannery. Colin Hogan. Ariel Robles. And he sets off. Really good play from the left winger. Darling. Beautiful ball from MacDonald to John McKee. And McMahon. Connell Bird for Wilkinson and David Butler. Kieran Ryan trying to get the steal. And Bollard tackled by Maher. Old Belvedere need to be careful here. Don't want to concede a turnover, and they've done just that. And that's marvellous work from the big men of Shannon.
Yeah, Shannon were very comfortable in that defensive set, to be honest. They look like a brick wall at the minute, and Old Belvedere seems to be running out of ideas a little bit. Maybe their confidence is a bit shot. Having that 10-7 advantage at half time, they would have been really confident heading into it. And it's just been all Shannon, and the 3 tries that they've got in that time. So I think Old Belvedere are maybe struggling for confidence, and Shannon have taken control of the game completely.
And Lee Nicholas has been so instrumental in this fixture. Talismanic leader.
He's a bit like Jack O'Sullivan from Lansdowne in a lot of ways. Like, he's their captain and he's a rock in defence, and then when he gets the ball he looks good as well. He's similar in a lot of ways.
And Declan Moore has had some impressive carries. He just looks like he's got so much power, and you can see he's a provincial player.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think the really impressive thing about Shannon is they've got really good forwards, but to equal that, they've got some really good backs, so they're not kind of a one-trip pony as such. You know, they've got a bit of both, which is really important.
And a penalty to Shannon as well at scrum time. Very concerning for Old Belvedere. They're going to be deep in their half with the final 9 minutes of play, when they really need to try come away with something in this home fixture. And that ball's not out. That's beautifully taken by Colm Hogan, beating 2 defenders, beating 3 defenders. He's still going. Brilliant play by the Irish club international and former Ireland under-20, William MacDonald. David Wilkinson, Justin Leonard with a skip ball to the Sandman, Paddy Darling. He's tackled well. And McMahon with an unorthodox offload, and as a result it's a knock on, and this could be trouble here for Old Belvedere. It's Alan Flannery, the inside centre. Joe Horan trying to get over that ball. Jake Flannery, and here's Lee Nicholas and Declan Moore. He's a joy to watch, the Australian. Coughlin for Ryan, for David Maher. He's really put in a big shift. Jake Flannery, Alan Flannery, Killian Deneen, a bit of a fumble and a bit of a dummy. Coughlin looks left, then goes right to Flannery. Ethan Coughlin on the short side, and it's play on, and things getting a little bit scrappy. Joshua Costello is in at ruck time, and it's a penalty to Shannon again.
A bit unfortunate, a bit unlucky there for Old Belvedere. I thought they had the possession, but yeah, you can see Shannon, they're just so relaxed at the minute. They're just kind of mixing it up, from hitting it up with the forwards and then going out the back door with the backs. They look really confident on the ball, and it's hard for Old Belvedere right now, because I think they're just really struggling, you know, to come up with anything that might get them going and get them in the right areas of the pitch. And Shannon are just really, they're just controlling the game, to be honest, and they have ever since they got that third try, I think.
Also Shannon, their side for the future. Got a very young back line, and their forward pack, it's a good blend of youth and experience. That's a good kick in to the 22. So they're looking for try number 5, and they're looking to put a marker down to just warn their future opposition of what they can do. And they've also got Old Wesley at the end of the season, and that could be a rehearsal for a semi-final or final as well. And here's Declan Moore. What a player to bring off the bench. And it's taken by the skipper, Nicholas. Old Belvedere done a good job to legally collapse that Moore. And Moore again. What an engine the hooker has. Coughlin for Colvin Brown. Ethan Coughlin. This is really ruthless play. Coughlin for Jake Flannery. Alan Flannery. This time Ariel Robles trying to get the steal. And Ryan this time. And Colvin Brown. Ethan Coughlin. Beautiful hands by Declan Moore to ring. It's really good to watch. Flannery and O'Donnell for the finish. Aaron Head actually is who scores. That's beautiful work. What a finish that is by Aaron Head.
Really well worked. They just went through the phases, mixed it up between the forwards and the backs, just stretched them then at the end and got in the corner. Really good play. Actually, probably that style of play is probably the best you'll see, you know, really well structured. They just knew what they were doing. They stuck to their game plan, and they look like a really, really well drilled side, to be honest. And I said 10-15 minutes ago that I thought Old Wesley's, it was theirs to lose, but seeing Shannon play like this, to be honest, it's one of the best performances I think I've seen. I've seen a lot of 1A games this season, 1B games, but I think it's been one of the most impressive halves of rugby I've seen from any team all season, to be honest.
So Jake Flannery to make it 4 out of 5 so far this afternoon, and he slots it.
Beautiful kick. I think though that Shannon Old Wesley game, you talked about it being a bit of a rehearsal. I think both teams will be keeping their cards pretty close to their chest that game. You know, I don't think they'll tell a lot. You know, they'll be focused on that those playoff games. It'll be interesting to see if they end up playing in the semi-final, or who knows, they could play in a final. But yeah, I think Shannon will definitely be there from what I've seen today. And for Old Belvedere, just let's say, right, their last 4 games they don't get any points from the 4 games. In a way, they could still be alright. You know, it's out of their hands in a lot of ways. It depends how the likes of Malone do, and Navan and Banbridge, like how they can finish their seasons. But for Old Belvedere, you would want a few points just for your own benefit, you know, a bit of security. Like, they're not out of the woods yet. I think they're one of the teams in the relegation battle that are probably in a better position, but they're not out of the woods yet, so they'll be hoping to get something from the last 3 games if they can.
So that Aaron Hare try was Shannon's 50th try of the Division 1B season this year. So a good milestone. And there's a massive tight head here. And Kilheeney now, Jack Kilheeney. Will MacDonald. So can they show some character here? Beautiful pass to Ariel Robles. And Joe Horan. And Wilkinson for Leonard. And this could be trouble. Killian Deneen with the ball to Aaron Hare. He's got lots of pace, but he sends it downtown. Ariel Robles has a lot of work to do because Aaron Hare is herring after this ball. And Old Belvedere back under the pump. And they've lost 80 metres after such good work at scrum time. Colin Hogan, Justin Leonard, and yes, John McKee on the wing, and he beats one. He's still going, John McKee. Beautiful rugby here. Colin Hogan, absolutely majestic from Old Belvedere. Superb try for Old Belvedere. Glorious to watch.
Not a great day at the office for Old Belvedere, but that try it's a nice one for the highlight reel. Some nice attacking rugby for them there. And yeah, look, we've seen them score a couple of tries like that actually this season. You know, when in broken play they can actually be quite dangerous sometimes. And yeah, nice way for them to finish the game. But ultimately they'll be disappointed by the result. You know, they would have been hoping for something out of this game.
Really good work by John McKee and Colin Hogan. And exceptional support play.
John McKee, he's been outstanding for Old Belvedere this season. Probably their best player, I'd say. You know, what can't he do? Like, you know, he can run, he can score the tries from the maul. Like, he's a brilliant player. And I think Ariel Robles has been very good today as well. Actually, I've been really impressed by him. He's been one of the standouts for Old Belvedere.
Colin Hogan, every single game, puts his body on the line and gives it his all. He has Joe Horan, another one of those players. Justin Leonard. There's big U flood. Wilkinson Skip ball to Colin Hogan. And William MacDonald. Leonard for Pollard. And Shannon get a penalty. Unforced error by Old Belvedere. And Shannon have an opportunity to bring up 40 points. And this will really put the icing on the cake if they kick to the corner or perhaps go for a scrum or whatever they do and turn on the shot at goal. John O'Sullivan, also another young out half.
They're going in for the kill. They want to finish the game on a high note.
So Declan Moore, boy, has been impressive off the bench. Looking for try number 6. David Maher. Declan Moore. Looking mean at the back of that scrum. And he says, keep going, lads. It's where every hooker wants to be, in control. Coughlin. That was beautiful hands by Alan Flannery. And O'Sullivan. Ethan Coughlin for Nicholas, the skipper, for David Maher. Ethan Coughlin for Ring. He's also got through a mountain of work. Good play again by Shannon O'Sullivan. Coughlin flirting with the defence. Declan Moore. And Maher flirting with the touchline, into touch. And will we have time for a line out? The player is down, and that'll be concerning. It's the Ireland under-20 player, Kieran Ryan. Shannon, of course, already losing Ronan Coffey in this fixture. And we hope Kieran Ryan is okay. Dean Moore is also down for Old Belvedere.
Yeah, I think credit has to go to Old Belvedere there. Their defence stood strong, and they want to finish the game with some pride, and they didn't want to let Shannon in again. But yeah, obviously it's not nice to see two players on the ground, and hopefully they can make it back up.
And Kieran, your player of the match, put you on the spot here.
No, I think in the last 20 minutes or so, I think Jake Flannery has just really turned it on and shown why he plays for Munster. And when Shannon needed him, he really stood up and he took control of the game, and that was the difference really. He just started to impose himself more on the game and control things, and that's when Shannon kind of got in the driving seat.
Jake Flannery, well, player of the match today, and he has scored 35 points against Old Belvedere this season. 3 tries in that 35-point makeup.
And Justin, a question for you. Jake Flannery, Jack Crowley or Ben Healy, which one would you take?
It's not my decision to make. Paddy Darling. So that's a good maul by Old Belvedere. Joe Horan. So do Old Belvedere have something left in the tank? It's William MacDonald. Old Belvedere have the penalty.
You can talk a lot about Jake Flannery, but I've actually been very impressed by his younger brother too in the centre. I thought he's had a really good game, really solid game. Very good centre partnership that is actually of Alan Flannery and Killian Deneen, 2 very good players, and they kind of give that back line a very good shape, so anytime they attack they look dangerous.
Jake Flannery and Alan Flannery starting their rugby off at Kilfeacle and District, and schooled at Rockwell. So one last go, yeah, that's good hands from Leonard. Back on the inside to Nugent, who scored that cracking try. And McKee Also really good youngster Gavin Nugent. Bollard. And a penalty to Old Belvedere. So there's been a lot of penalties in this fixture. And maybe that is just because rugby is a complicated game more than anything.
Absolutely, yeah. There's probably more laws and rules in rugby than probably most sports. So, yeah, I wouldn't like to be a referee, to be honest. And big credit to anybody who puts on the jersey and runs out there for 80 minutes and tries to keep things together. But Old Belvedere, we've seen this a lot this season. You know, at the end of games, they always go to the final whistle and playing for some pride here. So.
So one last roll of the dice for Old Belvedere. And over the top it goes. Declan Moore with the tackle. Looking for try number 3 here. Wilkinson. Ariel Robles setting off. He needs support. Going on the short side is Breen Leonard. Trying to dart his way through William MacDonald. This is really good character from Old Belvedere. Not giving up. And Big U Flood. Joe Horan looking for his 6th try of the season. Connor Owendi, really good hands. Wilkinson, Justin Leonard. It is the Sandman, Paddy Darling. Superb try by the number 8. And really encouraging to see by Old Belvedere. A lot of sides, when they're well defeated, they just run away. They've hit back with 2 really good tries.
Yeah, good way for them to finish the game, and it'll give them confidence heading into their game after the break at the end of March. But yeah, really good finish for them. And actually, Paddy Dowling has been very, very good today for Old Belvedere, so nice to see him get on the score sheet. And yeah, some positives for Ray Monaghan to take away from this game, definitely. And heading into a massive game against Malone in 3 weeks' time, I think, after the international break. So yeah, there's positives for him to take, and
So Justin Leonard. Struck it well, but doesn't convert. And that is the ball game at Ollie Campbell Park. Shannon 33, Old Belvedere 22. It's a winning bonus point for Shannon, taking 5 points from this fixture, scoring 5 tries in the process. Colvin Brown got a try, the opening try for Shannon. Killian Deneen got his 7th try of the season. Kieran Ryan, the Irish under-20, scored. Jake Vannery, the Wizard, scoring his 3rd try of the season against Old Belvedere. And then Aaron Hare, who's been called up as Munster cover at scrum half, scoring Shannon's 5th try. Belvedere also hit back with 2 really good tries in the second half. Paddy Darling finishing their 3rd try. And Kieran, thoughts, valuable 5 points for Shannon. That takes them up to 47 points. So if Nace did lose the game to Wesley, Shannon should be in 3rd position on Highfield, leveled with Highfield on 47. Of course, if that game did go ahead, if the Highfield game did go ahead and Highfield get a result against Malone, then Shannon will finish in 3rd place at the end of round 15.
I think Shannon really just turned it on in the first 20-25 minutes of that second half, and that's when they really pulled away from Old Belvedere. Like, it was 10-7 to Old Belvedere at half time, so massive credit to Shannon and the way they came out in that second half and just kind of put a few nails in the coffin of Old Belvedere. But again, massive credit to Old Belvedere in the last 15-10 minutes, getting those 2 tries. They didn't stop trying till the final whistle, so massive credit to them. But Shannon looked very, very good, as I said. They'll definitely make the playoffs, in my opinion. I know there's still a little bit of work to do, but I can definitely see them there. And it'll be interesting to see how they do against the likes of Wesley in the weeks to come, and maybe we'll see them play Wesley twice in the coming last kind of month and a half or so. So yeah, it should be an interesting end to the season for Old Belvedere. They need to target points away to Malone, and in that game against City of Armagh. But yeah, it's going to be a really good end to the season, and two very good teams today in fairness, and a really good game of rugby. So
just the final 3 games of the season when we return on the 26th of March. Old Belvedere have Malone away, then they've got City of Armagh at home, then they've got Naas away, very tough fixtures. Shannon have City of Armagh at home, followed by Banbridge away, and then they finish off with a massive fixture against Old Wesley at home. Thank you for joining us on Old Belvedere TV, and don't forget to like and subscribe.